Oh, hello. Seems like the Victory Kitty is happy. Especially since another Canadian team has won the Calder Cup. So, the Toronto Marlies won the Calder Cup. They beat the Chicago Wolves 4-3. And how funny, they beat Carolina's affiliate. Just like how last year, Abbotsford, or Vancouver, beat the Florida Panthers affiliate. I think Toronto, the Maple Leafs, should switch their team with the AHL team because the AHL team knows how to win. And after all, this is the second year a Canadian team won the Calder Cup in a league that's called the American Hockey League. And for the first time since, I believe, 2018, the Marlies win the Calder Cup, which is impressive. Even though they have a player on that team that should have played in the regular season, in Easton Cohen. I think it's great, especially for the city of Toronto, knowing damn well that the Maple Leafs aren't going to win anything, especially after hiring Jim Hiller. I mean, they did trade Simone Benoit and Joseph Wool to the Philadelphia Flyers, and they got Darren Radish from the Tampa Bay Lightning. But that's still not enough. Not enough for a team that's supposed to be a cup contender. But the Marlies are. Again, congratulations to the Toronto Marlies. Unfortunately, they beat my team. They beat the Laval Rocket. But I was happy to see Marlies win, especially against Chicago. But see what happens next year for the Toronto Marlies of the AHL. Because keep in mind, Cohen's going to be going back up to the NHL to play with the Mickey Mouse organization known as the Toronto Maple Leafs. In my opinion, they suck. But who knows? I think the Marlies have a good team. I don't see them going back to back, but I do think they're going to make it far in the playoffs next year. They have a great team, a bunch of great stars, but a lot of them are going to be called up to the NHL, especially to play for Austin Matthews and Jim Hiller. Which, to those who don't know, Jim Hiller used to be an assistant coach under the Mike Babcock era. We all know how that went. And then he became the interim head coach of the Los Angeles Kings, then became their head coach. And guess how that went? 3 straight first round exits, 2 of them of which came at the hands of Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. But out of everybody, they could have picked Cassidy. They could have went with Tortorella. They could have went with Patrick Waugh. It would really be weird if they went for Patrick Waugh. One of my friends at work wanted Bruce Boudreau. As Urinating Tree would call him, the barbecue man. Which, he will win you games, but he ain't going to win you the Stanley Cup. But he is a good coach. For Jim Hiller, don't really know much about him, other than he was the assistant coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs during the Babcock era. Brought the Kings to the first round, to the playoffs, just to feed them to Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers 3 years in a row, I believe. But who knows? Who really knows with that team? I think they should have went with a more offensive coach, not a defensive coach. But you never know. But that's it. That's it for this one. Once again, congratulations to the Toronto Marlies on bringing home the Calder Cup for the second year in a row. Vancouver did it last year. Now Toronto does it. Ironically, against teams that their NHL affiliates went on to win the Stanley Cup. Charlotte Checkers, they were the affiliate to Florida, which is weird because Charlotte, North Carolina. And then you got the Chicago Wolves, the affiliate of the Carolina Hurricanes. Chicago, Illinois. Shouldn't the Wolves be the affiliate to the Chicago Blackhawks? And the Charlotte Checkers should be the affiliate to the Carolina Hurricanes? I don't make up the rules. But I do find it funny that both AHL affiliates of the eventual Stanley Cup winners end up losing to Canadian teams. So let's hope we get that next year. But that's it for this one. This is Colin from Talking Puck signing out. Have a good one. And we'll see you on the 26th for the NHL entry draft.